Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Pimlico Racecourse here on Friday. It is May the 20th, 2016. Gonna look at the stakes races. Before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kit 5 for more selections. It's Pimlico's special day. They call it Black Eyed Susan Day, but in my eyes, it will always be known as the Pimlico Special Day. Love that race. One of my favorite races in the country for older horses. As I say that, it is for 3-year-olds and up, so I think it should be for 4-year-olds and up. But the races I'm going to be looking at are races 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 13. So those are races 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 13. So let's get on to today's action. The other races will be on Twitter, so remember that. So let's get on to the action. Race number 3 from Pimlico is the 23rd running of the Skip Bat Stakes. Purse $100,000 for fillies, mares, 3-year-olds, and upwards. We have a field of 9 horses traveling 6 furlongs here, and it's a breath of fresh air having 10-cent supers back. Well, they always had it at Pimlico in Maryland, but after 2 weeks ago when we had it at Churchill where they don't have the 10-cent supers, kind of I don't like playing dollar supers that often because you can't really make a layer ticket, or if you're a college student, you really can't make a layer ticket because you're broke. So yeah, I like the 10-cent supers, even with the higher take. I'd rather play a 10-cent super than a dollar super. But I'm going to give you a super here. I'm going to go 8-4 with the 1-2-3-9 box for the third and fourth position. So 8-4 with the 1-2-3-9 box for the bottom 2 positions. Number 8, fantastic style. Top selection here, 1-2. Not a lot of money you could play win. If you play this horse to win, but maybe in the exotics you can make some money. Maybe in the pick 3 also if you can find a horse. The early pick 3 if you can find a horse. Bob Baffert trains this one out of Harlan's Holiday. Last time out, Low Sal, 6.5 furlongs of Great Lady M Stakes. Grade 2 event that day. This horse finished second by 1 1/4 lengths. Was a heavy favorite and just was second at best that day. Really couldn't get up there. Then at Santa Anita, 6 furlongs on the 20th of March in the Las Flores Stakes. Grade 3 event that day. This horse won by 4 lengths. Was stalking the lead and he just got in hand late. And a very nice run for this horse. Really like this horse. He should really do well. Looks like a lot of speed. 1-2 gets one of the best riders in the country on today. Won the Great Lady M Stakes of 2015 back when it was run in July, and has shipped out of Southern California once, and that was in the Beaumont Stakes of 2015 at Keeneland. This horse finished the third that day, going 7/8 of a mile. I think this horse is in a great spot today. It's a very good horse here. I think it's single for me. And if you're playing pick 3 or what else starts here, pick 4 maybe, something like that. Yeah, it's the start of the pick 4. So I'm gonna go with this one here. So to recap my bets for race number 3 from Pimlico Racecourse here on the Black Eyed Susan Friday card. Gonna go with the 8 horse here. Gonna do superfecta 8-4 with the 1-2-3-9. 8-4 with the 1-2-3-9 box for the third and fourth position. So now let's get on to race number 7. The 7th race from Pimlico, like I said, is one of my favorite races of the year, if not my favorite race in the country, and that is the 46th running of the Pimlico Special. Has a lot of history to this race, the Pimlico Special. Grade 3, purse $300,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards. I think it should be 4-year-olds and upwards, but that's my personal opinion. For 3-year-olds and upwards, field of 8 horses, and with me being a history buff, you just see some very good horses that have run in this race. One of my favorite memories, well, not so favorite, 11 years ago, my grandfather passed away, and we buried him on the day before the Preakness, the day before Fleet Alex ran. And if you remember that Friday card, it was so much rain. But there was a horse me and my dad really liked, we're a big fan of, and that was a horse by the name of Eddington. And we put so much money on that horse that day, and he won, and we made, it was a very nice payout that day for him. Well, I was 9 at the time, 10 maybe. 9, I think. But that's always a memory I'll always remember. Eddington winning in the slop at Pimlico. So yeah, some very good horses have won this race. Just Eddington comes to mind as as a horse that I really liked. Traveling 1 and 3/16, the same distance as the Preakness tomorrow. And I'm gonna go to the two horse. I'm a fan of at the moment. That's a two-horse Stanford. Gonna do a superfecta key. Gonna go two with the 1-3-5-7 for a 10-cent super key. It's gonna cost you $2.40. Spin number two Stanford 8-5. Javier Castellano. Top pledge trades this one last time at Charlestown on the 23rd of April, mile and eighth in Charlestown Classic. That 1.5 Charlestown Classic. Source won by 2 lengths, broke out of the gate, got the lead, and basically never left the lead after that. Won by 2 lengths, got a 104 Beyer speed figure, which was the best of this horse's career. He's been going up. He had in all of his starts this year, he had 97 in the Hooper. 102 in the Gulfstream Park handicap and got his 104 last time out. He just had a very nice win last time out. That was the horse's best race of his career, I think. Then at Gulfstream Park, 1 mile in the Gulfstream Park handicap. This horse finished second by a head that day. Couldn't catch Blowfed, who really ran incredibly that day. And then at the Fred Hooper Stakes at Gulfstream 1 mile. This horse finished second by 2 3/4 lengths. Again, was a little bit wide. Really couldn't get around. That was the horse's first start since July also, so just keep that in mind. He should really do well here today. If it's a wet course, that's something a bit scary for me because he's never run on a wet course. But I think this horse could really do well. He's been training on the at Belmont, the train track. 5-furlong workout and 59-3, the best workout of 6. So I think he's ready here. Javier Castellano on this one. I believe Javier Castellano won this race last year or the year before with Commissioner. So going to go with this one. So recap my bets for race number 7 from Pimlico Racecourse. It's the 46th running of the Pimlico Special. I'm going to go with the two-horse Stanford, and I'm also going to do a superfecta key 2 with the 1-3-5-7 for 10 cents. It's going to cost you $2.40. So now let's get on to race number 8 from Pimlico. The 8th race from Pimlico is the 11th running of the Jim McKay Turf Sprint. Purse $100,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 8 horses dashing the distance of ground of 5 furlongs. The rail will be set at 0 feet, and hopefully this race stays on the turf. They are getting buckets and buckets of rain, so um, well, that's in Baltimore near Washington D.C. and Maryland. But for me, this weekend's gonna be a bit of a not the best weekend for me because I have a wedding to go to. My cousin is getting married in upstate New York, so they're gonna have some good weather, but Maryland not so much. So, but 5 furlongs is traveling here, and a field of 8, I believe. Yes, 8 horses, and I could have won a few horses deep in this race. In the pick 4 or pick 3, whatever I'm going to play, I'm not sure. I would use all 3 horses I have on, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do a superfecta here. I'm going to go 2-5-7, 3-8 box for the bottom 4th position. For 10 cents, could cost you $20 cents. $2 if you want to play it for $1. But I put the 2 horse. Ben's Cat on top. 9-5 Trevor McCarthy, King Leatherberry. He knows this course. He won this race last year. He won 2 races last year, Ben's Cat. He won the Mr. Diz, a race he always wins. It's going to become the Ben's Cat Stakes in a few years. And he won this race. This horse is a champ. He's a very good sprinter. One of the best sprinters, I think, in this region. Last time out, first start of the year, allowance race at Laurel on a good turf course, 5.5 furlongs. This horse won by neck that day, and he just was driving. Start before that was actually at Penn National, 6 furlongs in a fabulous strike stake for 200 grand. Source finished 7th by 9.25 lengths. Wasn't the favorite that day, surprisingly. He just didn't have anything left. And then finished second in the Maryland Million Sprint. He only won two races last year. Finished third 3 times, but like I said, the one win was here at Pimlico about a year ago in this race. And then in the Mr. Diz over the summer at Laurel. He should really run well here today. I think he's going to be ready. Should like the course if it's a little wet, I think also. So going to use this horse on top of, like I said, the superfecta. We're going to go 2-5-7. If you want to play trifecta, straight trifecta, 2-5-7. But for the super, I'm going to go 2-5-7, 3-8 box underneath. So that was my selection for race number 8 from Pimlico, the Jim McKay Turf Sprint. So now let's get on to race number 9 from Pimlico. The 9th race from Pimlico Racecourse is 23rd running of the Allright DuPont Distaff. Hopefully I said that right. Grade 3, purse $150,000 for fillies, mares, 3-year-olds, and upwards. We have a field of 10 horses traveling a mile and eighth, 1 mile and 1/8, and this is a wide open race. I think you could have went, you know, I would go a few horses deep if you're playing a pick four, pick three, because you're gonna find a price. I think in this race. I think that's what I think. But I'm gonna play again a superfecta key. I'm gonna go to the 5 horse, number 5, Chocolate, 5-1, Brian Hernandez Jr. I'm gonna put that horse on top of my superfecta key. I'm gonna go 5 with the 1, 2, 4, 6, 10. So I was 5 with the 1, 2, 4, 6, 10. Number 5, Al Chocolate, 5-1, Brian Hernandez Jr. Last time out, ran at Keelan, mile 16th, and the double dollar stakes, something like that. This horse finished third by 2 lengths that day. He just flattened out a little bit. He wasn't his best run. Start before that again at the fairgrounds, mile 70 on the mud and the Escalade stakes for 50 grand. This horse finished third by 2 1/4 lengths. Was very willingly that day. He looks like she could have really ran some more. And then this horse's probably best race of her career came in the Fall Cities handicap at Churchill last season. This horse won by 1.5 lengths. Excuse me. He just held her own that day. There are starts this horse has where she weakens going a mile and eighth. Some starts where she runs really well. Like that Churchill start was very good. She ran over this course last season a mile and eighth in Black Eyed Susan. This horse finished third by 3 1/4 lengths behind Keen Pauline and Include Betty. She just was a little bit wide, and she was just not weakening towards the end of the race. It was a very tough run, but I think this horse could really run well today. 5-1. I like the price, so I'm gonna put this horse on top of the superfecta. So to recap my bets for race number 9 for Pimlico, I'm gonna go with the 5 horse. I'm gonna do a superfecta key 5 with the 1, 2, 4, 6, 10. 5 with the 1, 2, 4, 6, 10 for 10 cents. Gonna cost you $6 to play this ticket. So now let's get on to race number 10 from Pimlico, which is the 44th running of the Hilltop Stakes. Purse $100,000 for fillies, 3-year-olds. We have a field of 16 horses. The 15 and 16 are also eligibles, traveling a mile a mile and 16th on the turf course. Rail will be at 0 feet. Mile and 16th. And, another race where I'm doing a superfecta key again. I think any of these horses could really win. So I'm going to go with the 4-horse Spinamis on top. This is very hard race to handicap. Going to put Spinamis on top. I'm going to go for my superfecta key 4 with the 5, 6, 8, 11. 4 with the 5, 6, 8, 11 for 10 cents. Going to cost you $2.40. Number 4, Spinamis, 9-2. John Velasquez, Cyrus Spread horse here for Todd Pletcher, making her 4th start here in the States, but last time out in the Appalachian Stakes at Keelan a mile on April the 14th. This horse finished 4th by 3 lengths that day. Couldn't catch a glimpse that day because she's just an incredible horse who won next time out 2 weeks ago at Keelan. This horse was just really gaining that day, but a little bit too late. Getting the extra 16th of ground should really help also, and also helping not facing catch a glimpse. But then at Gulfstream Park back in January 30th, 1 mile in the Sweet Chalmer Stakes. This horse finished second by 3/4 of length. Was rallying again that day, but just didn't have enough ground. And then Tampa at 1 mile on December the 20th. This horse won by a neck, rallying very well. This turf course, I find, sometimes you could get a really good rallying horse. I think this horse could really rally. He's been facing very wet turf courses in Europe, where this horse started her career, especially in Ireland, where she ran 3 starts. She finished second going over a yielding turf course at Kirk last season, and at 7 furlongs, 1,400 meters at Limerick last June. She broke her maiden by a head. Really loving that course. She got beat by a horse by the name of Deauville, who actually is a very good horse, very good filly, who's running in Europe at the moment. She is a very good horse. But I think this horse should really do well with this closing kick. Should do well with the turf course, the condition also. So watch out for this horse. 9-2, 5.5 to 1, 4.5 to 1. Should really do well. So to recap my bets for race number 10 from Pimlico, it's the 44th running of the Hilltop Stakes. Gonna go with the 4-horse, who is Spinamis. I think I said that the horse's name three different times wrong. So hopefully one of those times I said it right. So gonna go with the 4-horse top selection. Gonna do a superfecta key 4 with the 5, 6, 8, 11. 4 with the 5, 6, 8, 11 for 10 cents. Gonna cost you $2.40. So now let's get on to race number 11 from Pimlico. Race number 11 is featured on today's program. It's the 92nd running of the Black Eyed Susan Stakes. Grade 2, purse $250,000 for fillies, 3 rolls. We have a field of 14. That was right, that was 14 horses going a mile and 1/8 on the Pimlico surface with those tight turns. A mile and 1/8. Like everybody says, that those tight turns they're not existing because turns are if you put the Churchill track over Pimlico, let's say, it's the completely same. It's the same layout basically. Just the turns aren't as banked. But 14 horses going to post here, and I found a horse I really like who ran very good 2 weeks ago, and that was the 3-horse Landover Sea. Gonna do superfecta this race for 10 cents. Gonna go 3-5 with the 2, 6, 9, 10, 12, 13. That was 3-5 with the 2, 6, 9, 10, 12, 13. For it's going to cost you $2, I believe, to play it for 10 cents. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about $2, I think, or $3 for 10 cents. But number 3, Landover Sea, 2-1 Mary Gutierrez for Doug O'Neill. Last time out at Churchill Downs 2 weeks ago, mile 8 in the Kentucky Oak Stakes. This horse finished second by 2 3/4 lengths. I was a little bit, had a little bumping that day. It was a little bit wide, but just closed like anything. Couldn't catch Catherine Sophia, who was running a hell of a race. The track was playing towards front runners, I think, that day also. That was my personal decision. Some people might say horses were closing too, but you weren't seeing a lot of horses closing where this horse was closing. She was 11th early down the backstretch. Then at the Fairgrounds, mile 16th on April the 26th in the Fairgrounds Oaks. This horse won by 4.5 lengths. Another very good run for this horse. Was rallying with that long stretch and really ran well. And then the Santa Isabel, this horse finished second behind Songbird. This horse finished second, basically behind Songbird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 starts in a row. So she finally left Southern California. She won. But this horse has only won twice. That was one race at Del Mar on the turf, and won the Kentucky and won the Fairgrounds Oaks. I think this horse should have a strong run here today. I'm gonna put her on top here of my ticket. In the pick 4 sequence, I would probably, or pick 6, whatever you're gonna play, I would probably use 2. I would go 3-5 because the 5 horse Go Maggie Go finished 4th. Was running a hell of a fourth place finish that day also. So I would go 3-5 in the pick 4, pick 3 sequence, pick 6, something like that. But for this, to give you a little bit of a ticket here for my superfecta, so to recap my bets for race number 11 from Pimlico Racecourse, the Black Eyed Susan Stakes, the 92nd edition of Black Eyed Susan. I'm going to go with the 3-5 with the 2, 6, 9, 10, 12, 13. That was 3-5 with the 2, 6, 9, 10, 12, 13 for the 3rd and 4th place positions. It should cost you $2 for 10 cents, I believe, $3, something like that. So now let's get on to race number 13 from Pimlico. We're going to skip over race number 12. If you want race 12 selections, you're going to have to go on my Twitter account to get it. But race number 13 from Pimlico, another one of my favorite races. It's the 31st running of the Adenia Springs Miss Preakness Stakes. Grade 3 purse, $150,000 for fillies, 3-year-olds. We have a field of 10 horses traveling the distance of ground of 6 furlongs. 6 furlongs ahead of them. And, my top selection here is I'm going to go to the 4-horse, bit of a price here. That's number 4, Lost Raven at 5-1, owned by Mike Rapoli, if you can see behind me the Rapoli hat. Going to put that horse owned by Rapoli, trained by Todd Pletcher, ridden by John Velasquez. Going to put this horse on top of a superfecta key. Going to go 4 with the 1, 6, 8, 9, 10. That was 4 with the 1, 6, 8, 9, 10 for 10 cents. It's going to cost you $6. But number 4, Lost Raven, 5-1, John Velasquez, for Todd Pletcher out of Uncle Mo. Uncle Mo horse is going 6 furlongs or a mile. 6 furlongs to a mile. Great distance for these horses. But last time out in the Cicada, 6 furlongs at Aqueduct. This horse won by neck on the lead all throughout. Beat a heavy favorite. This horse paid for, almost 10-1. This horse paid very good. It was a little bit bobbled at the start, but got the lead, straight to the lead. Never left the lead. Very good race for this horse in that field of 4. Then at Aqueduct, mile 16th on the 27th of February in the Busher Stakes, Finished fifth by 11.5 lengths. This horse weakened that day, and then the Bushanda Stakes at Aqueduct. Again, this horse finished third, was on the lead, and then weakened. Cutting back to 6 furlongs today, she proved herself going 6 furlongs last time out. Ran down here, cross town at Laurel in Marusha Stakes. This horse finished second by 1/4 lengths. Didn't get the lead, but was stalking the lead that day, and finished the game second. That was the horse's first start since November, also first start of the year. This horse finished fifth in the Demoiselle, going a mile and eighth, too far, and won a race across town at Laurel back in November, also by 3 lengths. So I think this horse is ready. She'll really run a hell of a race. 4 furlong workout May the 13th. 4 furlongs 48 and one, which was the best workout out of seventh best workout, 35 workouts that day. So going to use this horse. So to recap my bets for race number 13 from Pimlico, it's the Miss Preakness Stakes, sponsored by Adenia Springs. Going to go with the 4 horse, who is Lost Raven. Going to do a superfecta key 4 with the 1, 6, 8, 9, 10 for 10 cents. Going to cost you $6. So good luck to all, and follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.